Ace Johnson was once a great detective with the Allen Police Department. His retirement ended his time on the force. Now he uses his skills to help the powerless. Tune in to each episode as Ace finds love, makes new friends, and brings criminals to justice. Ace Johnson, Episode 4, We Know Who You Are. Developed from the book Ace of Hearts by Gary W. Bryant. Executive producer and editor, Studio K. Director, Gary W. Bryant. Music producer, Jordan Rausch. Clarinet solos, Olivia Uten. Sound effects, Blake Kraft. In this episode, you will hear the voices of Gary W. Bryant as Ace Johnson, Kristen Duff as Lily Ricotta, Chris Campbell as Lieutenant Hal Spears, Christina Bentley as Kathy Williams, Walt Pennington as Kozlowski, Bonnie Jean Blankenship as Anna, Penny Trent Norman as Shirley Lamb, Sam Norman as Daniel and Michael, Jesse Cheek as Amelia Green, and Walt Pennington as Steve.
As I drove to Kathy's, I was severely discomforted by Hal's news about Johnny Reyes. The fact that Hal could find no information about him made Reyes even more suspicious. I thought about how scared Lily must have been when Reyes attacked her and how close she came to being seriously harmed. If Reyes tried what he did with Lily, he likely would do it with another poor girl, maybe successfully. Perhaps he already had. I vowed to stop him before he could harm anyone else. Hello?
Hi, Ace. I've got a hunch about Mr. Reyes, and I want to check it out. I debated whether to tell you before I found out, but I decided to let you know so you know I'm not giving up. I should know more tomorrow. I'm getting out of here before someone jaywalks or something, and I'm stuck here doing the paperwork. I'll let you know what I find out.
Thanks, Hal. I appreciate it. Talk to you later. I also thought about Rose. I had discounted her place in this situation. It would surely impact her at some point. Lily couldn't stay with Kathy forever. Rose would start asking questions. I needed some concrete answers soon, before Rose unknowingly forced Lily back into danger. I didn't sleep well that night. So many scenarios ran through my head. I thought about what Lily said about the $10,000 package. Was the package drugs? Maybe. It had to be. My thoughts returned to Lily, and I remembered how scared she had been. If I could convince Rose that Reyes was dangerous, maybe she would stop seeing him. How could I do that without telling Rose what Reyes tried to do to her daughter? Lily wouldn't stand for that. That left me one option. I needed to gather more evidence on this man whose identity I couldn't even confirm. Finally, sleep came, but it didn't last long before a ringing cell phone jolted me awake. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, Kathy.
Well, it's good to hear your voice, too.
I'm sorry. I thought you might be Hal with some news, but of course it's good to hear from you.
Oh, did we get a fingerprint?
We did, but it didn't match any records. Hal said he had another hunch. He said he would try to let me know what he finds later today. How are you girls getting along?
Lily's still sleeping. Ace, she's a darling. She played her clarinet for me last night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. After that, we talked until midnight. I tell you, that child has been through a lot. Johnny isn't the first of her mother's boyfriends to give Lily trouble. That might explain why she dresses the way she does. I mean, I'm no psychologist, but I think subconsciously she's trying to hide.
That was my thought as well. I can't understand it. I know Lily's mother loves her. I saw that when I saw them together the one time. We can't judge Rose. We have no idea what she's been through. Still, I want to protect that child. She deserves a chance to be who she can be.
I agree. She is sharp, sweet, talented.
It sounds like she may have gotten to you, too. She has that effect on a person.
Yup. Hey, it sounds like she's stirring. I hear her coming down the hall. I imagine she'll be hungry. I'll talk to you later.
How about I stop by and take you ladies to lunch? Would that work?
That'd be good with me. Just no Charlie's?
Fine by me. Talk to you later. Thinking of food made me hungry, and I decided to have some breakfast. I didn't even get the box of cereal out of the cabinet before I received another call. Hello?
Hi, Ace, it's Al. Hey, I've got something for you, but I'd rather give it to you in person. Can you come by the station?
Sure, I'll be there in about an hour. I closed the cabinet door and grabbed a banana instead. I peeled it and quickly ate it before jumping in the shower. I walked into the police station and smiled at the sight of Klazowski and Jones sitting at the front desk. Are you guys learning to be Siamese twins now?
Ha ha ha. Very funny, Ace.
Hi, Ace.
Hi, Al. What's up with Tweedledee and Tweedledum?
Hey, Jones is Tweedledum, right?
Sure.
Their practical jokes are getting out of hand. I figure with them sitting close, they can't possibly hide anything from each other. If this doesn't work, I'm going to move them both to the bathroom.
Hal motioned me back to his office. He locked the door behind us.
Sit down, Ace. What I'm about to tell you can't leave this room. I mean, you can't tell anyone. Not only would it cost me my job, but it would cost me jail time if someone finds out I told you.
You've known me for a long time, so you know you can trust me. I wouldn't put you in this position if it wasn't important.
Okay, here's the deal. I started thinking about the likelihood of our guy having no history and no fingerprint to match. It just didn't make sense. It was like he was dropped from nowhere. Then it dawned on me. What's more nowhere than our federal government? I ran my theory by Chief Pickering. He agreed we should know if a criminal located in our community. So we contacted the FBI and they cleared our security codes. What I'm about to tell you, Ace, I'm not even allowed to tell the officers outside my door. Johnny Reyes isn't Johnny Reyes. His name is Jimmy Reynolds. And he is a key witness in a case involving federal racketeering charges in Chicago. He was a vital member of a nasty group whose crimes included drugs, human trafficking, and murder.
What was his role in the gang?
Reynolds was a very bad man. His main job was to entice young girls into the network. He targeted illegals, runaways, and girls not connected to anyone locally. In most cases, he got the girls addicted to drugs and made them entirely dependent on the organization to survive. He also assaulted a couple of them.
I sat silent for a few minutes and thought about Lily and what could have happened to her. I shuddered, and my blood began to boil. I also saw the other girls like Lily, whose worlds were destroyed.
Ace, I emphasize again that you absolutely can't report this to anyone.
I get it, Hal. There's a young lady I met who could be in danger from this man. I think his old ways will show up again, if they haven't already.
Ace, you can't initiate anything. We can discreetly watch him, but we can't be obvious. You can't be in his face either. If you are, it'll come back to us. I know you, Ace. You will do what you need to do to protect that girl, but you can't do anything that can lead back to us. I'm putting my career and my family on the line by giving you this information.
Like you said, Hal, you know me. I won't put you in danger, but I will do what I have to otherwise to make sure that girl is safe. I left the police station feeling as if I had been kicked in the gut. The situation was much worse than I thought. How was I going to keep Lily safe if I couldn't even tell Rose who Reyes was? I couldn't keep her from her mother forever. I was sure that if she knew about Reyes or Reynolds' past, she wouldn't want her daughter anywhere near him. But if I told her, it would cost Hal his job and maybe worse. It was quite a dilemma. I decided to say nothing to anyone, not even Rose, Lily, or Kathy. I would find a way to keep Rose and Lily safe, even if it meant spending all my time watching Reynolds. I decided to shift my attention to more positive things, so I called Kathy.
Hello, Ace.
Hello, are you girls ready for lunch? I'm on my way.
Yes, we'll be ready. See you in a few minutes.
A few minutes later, I was at Kathy's. Lily answered the door, The young lady in front of me was much different than the one I'd left. She no longer wore baggy clothes, and she wore a bit of makeup. Even her smile was different, less forced and more radiant. She noticed me looking at her.
Kathy's granddaughter left some clothes here. They seem to fit. Do you like them?
You look very nice.
Thank you. Kathy is finishing her hair. She'll be right out.
As I waited for Kathy on her sofa, I couldn't help but notice how Lily beamed. Her smile grew even wider when she saw me looking at her. However, when Kathy came into the room, she drew my complete attention. She didn't look like a woman with a son in her 40s. She looked to be much younger. She noticed me looking at her and became self-conscious.
Do I look okay?
No, you don't look okay. You look beautiful. You are beautiful.
You kids are funny.
All right, young lady. I took Kathy's hand as we walked to the car with Lily trailing. Lily sat in the back seat behind me. I could see her smiling in my rearview mirror.
Can we eat at McDonald's?
Kathy and I looked at each other in horror. Kathy nodded to me, then put her hand over her face. Yes, McDonald's is okay. As we drove toward McDonald's, I continued to try to think of ways I could protect Lily and her mother. I knew Lily wouldn't need convincing of Reynolds' danger, but Rose was a different story. She wouldn't appreciate me interfering in her love life, and as long as Rose was seeing Reynolds, I couldn't think of a way to keep Lily away from him. I needed to determine if Reynolds was indeed involved in illegal activity, and I needed to do it quickly. My gut left me no doubt about Reynolds' guilt. Lily's revelation about the $10,000 package aside, but what was he up to? Kathy and I tried not to stare as Lily attacked the quarter pounder with cheese. She noticed us looking at her.
What? I'm hungry.
You're a growing girl. I looked at my Big Mac with the toppings squishing out from underneath the bun. I developed a strategy of eating whichever side was squishing the most. It actually wasn't bad, despite my burger snobbery. Meanwhile, Kathy was picking through a chicken sandwich. Ladies, we're going to have to figure out what to do with Lily. We can't keep her from Rose forever. She's going to want her daughter back, and I can't think of any way to convince her that Reyes is dangerous without telling her what he tried to do to Lily.
I can't do that.
I know, Lily. I understand. Do you have any suggestions about how we can keep you safe?
I called Mom earlier today and told her I would be staying the week with my friend. Is that okay, Miss Kathy?
Well, of course it is, honey. I love having you around. It's just like having my granddaughter visit, with less eye rolling. We may need to work on your food tastes.
Can you catch him by then, Ace?
Well, I could try. Can you think of anything else he may have said or done? Did you see anything? Did he say anything about where he was going?
I can't think of anything. I do remember that he once said something about Simpsonville. I remember because Mom asked him about it after he mentioned it. He got all nervous and wouldn't repeat it. I heard it clearly because I was closer. I thought that was strange at the time. Why didn't he want her to know about Simpsonville?
Simpsonville. I may take a drive down there. I know a few people. A teenage boy passed our table and spoke to Lily. Lily said hello to the young man, but stared down at the table after he passed. Friend of yours?
He's just a guy from school. I'm surprised he knew my name.
Now, why do you say that?
He usually just talks to the pretty girls, not girls like me.
I watched Kathy open her purse and pull out a compact with a mirror. She held it in front of Lily.
What do you see?
I see an ugly girl.
Look closer. What do you see?
Lily stared at the mirror. After a couple of minutes, she started to smile. Tears ran down her cheeks.
I see a pretty girl. Thank you.
She said thank you in her Lily kind of way. She turned and wrapped her arms around Kathy, hugging her tightly. Lily's face began to contort in a way that suggested a sob might soon come.
What's more, child, you have a beautiful heart. Any boy, any person, would be thrilled to know you.
I watched the scene as I fought back my own tears. I thought about how I didn't know either of these wonderful people just a few short days ago. Yet in such a short time, they had enriched and changed my life so much. Lily lifted her face from Kathy's shoulder and turned it toward me. She smiled at me through her tears, a big, broad, happy smile. I smiled back, a big, broad, happy smile. Following lunch, I dropped Kathy and Lily off at Kathy's and headed to Simpsonville, about 35 miles to the south. My lunch smile persisted the entire trip as I continued to think of the scene with Kathy and Lily that played out at McDonald's. My cell phone rang, bringing me back to the present. I saw it was Anna. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
I'm good.
You're driving. Where are you headed?
I'm headed to Simpsonville.
Why are you going to Simpsonville?
I'm just going to see a couple people I know.
Okay, I'm not trying to pry.
It's okay. Hey, Anna, I think I met someone. I just met her a few days ago, but she's great.
Dad, Mom has been gone for more than a year now. I know you and her were very happy, but she's gone. I know she would want you to be happy after she's gone, but to be honest, I was hoping you would meet someone because I've been very worried about you. You just haven't seemed like yourself.
You mean you wouldn't be upset?
Absolutely not. I want you to be happy. I know you're lonely. I know you don't want to move here. You would be a fish out of water, but at the same time, our life is now here. We couldn't go back, and you don't need to be alone. So, how did you meet her?
Well, picking out flowers at Lowe's. You know me, I don't know anything about flowers, but like your mother, this lady's quite the expert. She's a widow. It's funny, I haven't known her long, but the time with her has been incredible. I can't wait for you to meet her.
I look forward to that too, Dad. Hey, do you want to talk to the boys?
Sure, that would be great.
Hey, Grandpa, it's Daniel. Hey, guess what? I struck out 10 in the game yesterday, and I only gave up 5 hits. I did walk 5, but I'll get better at that.
10 strikeouts, that's great. You're regular Nolan Ryan.
Who's Nolan Ryan?
I guess he's a little before your time. Google him.
I will. Hey, the loser wants to talk to you. I love you, Grandpa. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Grandpa, it's Michael. We both know Daniel's a real loser. He struck out 10 batters because he couldn't get the ball close enough to the plate for anyone to hit it. I had 2 home runs and 2 doubles.
That's great. You're a regular Hank Aaron.
Who's Hank Aaron?
Google him.
Okay, Grandpa, I need to go. I love you.
Love you too.
Dad, I need to go too. I need to fix the boys' dinner. I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. I pulled into a gas station on the outskirts of Simpsonville. The station was a relic from the past with only 4 pumps, 2 bays featuring racks, no convenience store, and just an office with a couple of Goodyear tires on display out front, along with a couple of fading signs touting brands of motor oil. Nevertheless, Simpsonville had been a gateway in the past for a crime that made its way up to Allen. Plus, the man inside always knew what was going on for a 100-mile radius. A crusty, graying, pudgy gentleman sat on a tall stool behind the counter. He was wearing an oil-stained blue-striped uniform shirt with Steve embroidered on the pocket. His stringy gray hair fell below a bright red NASCAR cap. Like his uniform shirt, the cap needed an oil change. Tobacco juice stained the edge of his mouth, and he had a big lump in his jaw.
Well, Ace Johnson. I'd figured you'd retired or died by now. It's been a while.
Retired, yes. Died, not hardly. Just like old times, though, Steve. I need some information. This time it's personal.
Oh, well, you can ask, but information travels differently these days, thanks to that danged old people book or whatever they're calling it.
I snickered a bit. I imagined old Steve sitting in front of a computer staring at Facebook or some other social media platform. Still, there was a bit of usefulness in what he said. I could use social media to my advantage. I was also sure to have a social media expert at my disposal, a teenage girl named Lily. Of course, that would mean telling her what I was doing. I filed the thought away for later and turned my attention to Steve. Steve, I'm trying to get some information about a man from up Allen. He's just been there a couple of years, but I think he may be up to something here in Simpsonville. Maybe drugs, prostitution, something along those lines.
Well, we have our fair share of drugs, but it's the usual players. You know, that guy you busted a bunch of years back, he's back in business. But he's been small-time dealers since he got out of prison. There ain't anyone new operating in town, at least none that I've heard.
There was an old cork bulletin board on the wall behind Steve. The board was mostly filled with handwritten notes advertising transmissions or other car parts, as well as flyers from restaurants promoting their latest lunch deal. However, in the corner of the board, a flyer drew my attention. It was a picture of a missing 17-year-old girl named Christy Lamb with a phone number. I pointed to the flyer. Do you know that girl?
Well, I know of her. Her mom works down at the diner and buys gas here. I told her I'd put that flyer up for her, but that girl's more likely a runaway or something. Her mom said she had been pretty rebellious, a little ornery these days, and she's been getting into trouble.
Maybe, maybe not. I might give her mom a call. What's her name?
Her name's Shirley Lamb. You could probably find her at Adele's Diner down there. She's waiting tables down there.
Where's Adele's?
It's on Main Street.
Thanks, Steve. Oh, you have a little... Steve wiped at the side of his mouth as I grimaced at the glob of tobacco juice hanging on the opposite side. The brown liquid now began to run toward his chin.
You're welcome.
I headed to downtown Simpsonville, which was a bit of a misnomer since downtown Simpsonville consisted of about 10 buildings, including Adele's Diner. I found the diner on Main Street. The exterior of the building lived up to its feminine name, painted white with pink trim surrounding a large window. Adele's was written on the window in pink lettering along with listings of prominent menu items, one proclaiming Adele's is home to the best pies in the country. I found a parking space a block or so from the diner. My Big Mac from earlier in the day hadn't settled particularly well, but I thought I might be able to take on a piece of pie and a coffee. Inside, I found one of the most immaculate places I'd ever seen. It looked like you could eat off the floor. Middle-aged adults and seniors crowded the diner. A waitress in a pink uniform passed me as I stood in the doorway.
Seat yourself, hon.
I looked around searching for an empty table, but my options were limited. I finally spotted one in the middle of the diner and took a seat. The same waitress passed by my table and dropped a menu.
I'll be right with you.
I looked over the menu, which mainly consisted of home cooking like you would find in Mother's kitchen, along with some burgers and sandwiches. On the back, I found the dessert menu, topped by multiple varieties of pie. Further down the list were an equal number of cakes and puddings. One thing I didn't see on either side of the menu was any kind of exotic dish. The diner served only simple food. I watched as another waitress delivered food to the table next to me. The servings were ample and both looked and smelled divine. I turned to the menu with increased vigor and focused on the pies. Chocolate, apple, cherry, blueberry, meringue, and pecan. I decided to order the pecan. The waitress approached as I finalized my decision. I looked at her name tag, Shirley.
Are you ready to order, hon?
I took a good look at Shirley. She looked to be in her 40s and tired. She smiled the smile of a person who had trained herself to face the public. Yes, I'd like the pecan pie and a cup of coffee.
Would you like to make the pie a la mode?
Is there any other way?
I don't think so. I'll bring you some cream and sugar for the coffee.
No need. I drink it black. Shirley soon returned with a large slab of pie and a generous cup of black coffee. Wow, you guys don't mess around. This looks great. I noticed from your name tag that your name is Shirley. Is it Shirley Lamb, by chance?
Yes, it is. Why do you ask?
Well, it's a bit complicated. I was hoping maybe I could talk to you when things slow down, or your shift ends.
Is this about my daughter?
Yes.
Do you know where she is?
I don't, but... Before I could finish answering, a lady at the counter yelled that Shirley had an order up. Shirley scampered to the counter and paused just long enough to grab the order. I watched as she dropped the order at its table without even pausing and quickly returned to my table.
Yes, I'll talk to you. I don't know if you can help me, but no one has any answers, so it can't hurt. We'll probably slow down in an hour or so. Can you hang around?
Sure. Just keep the coffee coming. I looked at the plate sitting in front of me. White streams were trickling away from the mountain of vanilla ice cream. I stuck a fork in the point of the pie and dabbed a bit of ice cream on the end of the fork. The crust was flaky and the filling was rich and thick, with whole pecans on top. I put the bite into my mouth and let it sit on my tongue. I hadn't tasted every pie in the county, but regardless, I was sure the slogan written on the window was accurate. I couldn't imagine a better tasting pie anywhere. I ate as slowly as possible with an occasional sip of coffee. Shirley refilled my cup every time it got low. As I watched her scurry around the diner, I thought about Shirley's missing daughter. I also wondered if there could possibly be a connection between Christy and Reynolds. I had no concrete reason to believe there was. Still, my gut told me I needed to look into it. Slowly, the patrons trickled out, probably full of pie. Finally, only a handful of people remained, and Shirley came to my table.
Would you like any more coffee?
I think I've already had a gallon. Shirley sat down across from me.
Who are you? And do you think you can help me find my daughter?
I extended my hand, and Shirley politely took it. My name is Ace Johnson. I'm a retired police detective from Allen. I have a young friend who may be in a bit of danger. I'm trying to figure out if your daughter's disappearance could be connected. Are the police here in Simpsonville investigating?
No, the police think my daughter ran away. She had been in some trouble in the past, but she had been doing better before she disappeared. She wouldn't leave and not tell me.
Can you tell me who last saw her?
She went out with a friend, Amelia Green, that night, but Amelia didn't bring her home. Amelia said Christy left with some other friends. The police questioned Amelia. They spoke to a couple of the other people and decided that Christy had run away. They filed a missing persons report, and they haven't done anything in the last few weeks.
Would it be possible to talk to Amelia?
She may come in tonight. She often comes in before we close to have a piece of chocolate pie. I think she misses Christy. The two of them were very close. If you stay for a few more minutes, she might come in. She's been here for the last 3 nights. Do you think you can help me find my daughter?
I honestly don't know, Shirley. I know I'll do everything I can. Shirley smiled a weak smile, then her eyes brightened as she looked toward the door.
There's Amelia.
Shirley stood up and went to greet the young lady with a hug. I watched as she talked to Amelia and pointed toward my table. At first, Amelia shook her head. Shirley persisted, placing her hands on the girl's shoulders, and finally Amelia looked toward the floor and nodded. She walked with Shirley slowly toward my table. Amelia was a petite girl, but above average in height, with medium-length brown hair and a light complexion. She sat down with Shirley at my table.
Hi, I'm Amelia. Do you want to talk to me?
Nice to meet you, Amelia. I'm Ace Johnson. Yes, I'd like to talk to you. I'm hoping you can help us find Christy.
Nice to meet you. I'll help if I can. I already talked to the police.
I understand. I'm still hoping I may be able to help. Perhaps you could tell me something that could be a clue. I'd also like to prevent what may have happened to Christy from happening to any other girls.
Do you think Christy's in danger?
Possibly. Will you tell me what happened the last night you saw her? Amelia looked very nervous. She looked down at the table for a good while, sighed, looked at Shirley, then finally began to speak.
I promised Christy I wouldn't tell, but I'm beginning to worry. She was supposed to call me. She hasn't called, so I'm afraid something's happened to her.
I looked at Shirley and put her hands over her face. What happened that night? Who was she with when she left?
She left with an older man while I sat in my car.
Was he in his 40s? Maybe about my height, with brown hair and a mustache?
No, he wasn't that old. He was maybe in his 20s, kind of tall, and dressed really nice. Christy said he had told her she could be a model, and he knew some people who could help her. She had been talking to him on Instagram for weeks. He told her he saw her profile picture and was a model scout for a modeling agency in California. At first, Christy didn't believe him, but he showed her all these pictures of girls he said he had helped become models.
Then he told Christy that he needed to take her to a photo shoot and would bring her back in a couple of days.
I watched Shirley as Amelia talked. I saw the anger grow in her eyes.
Why didn't you tell the police? They might have found my baby.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I was afraid to talk to the police after I lied to them the first time. I promised Christy I wouldn't tell. I'm sorry.
I watched Shirley's anger soften as the girl continued to cry. She put her arm around Amelia and pulled her close.
It's okay, child. You do need to talk to the police and tell them what you told us. I'll go with you.
You'll do that? It's my fault she's missing.
It isn't your fault. Thank you, Ace, for helping me find out the truth. Do you think the police will be able to find her once they know the truth about what really happened?
I looked at her. I wanted to tell her that Christy would be found, but the truth was I didn't know. Many missing children are found, but many remain unaccounted for. I couldn't tell Shirley about the ones who aren't found. I tried to remain as positive as possible. I hope so, Shirley. I'm sure the police will do their best. I'll do my best. The three of us walked out together. I watched as Shirley walked Amelia to her car and hugged her tightly. I prayed that Christy would be found and return home. However, I found nothing that helped my situation with Lily. I found nothing to shed light on Reynolds. Perhaps Reynolds had business in Simpsonville. There might have been more information to be found, but I was too emotionally drained to continue looking and decided to head back to Allen. I thought about Shirley, Christy, and Amelia as I drove home and wondered where Christy might be. Despite what I told Shirley, I feared the worst. I was thankful Anna never went through anything like poor Christy went through, and could be going through now if she were still alive. I decided to change my mood, call Kathy.
Hello, Ace. Did you find anything?
Only misery. I talked to a mother whose teenage daughter is missing. I thought Reynolds might be connected somehow, but it appears her daughter was likely abducted, and I fear it may be a case of human trafficking if the girl's still alive. He has all the telltale signs. That poor mother.
Who's Reynolds?
Sorry, I meant Reyes.
Why would you think he's connected to human trafficking? I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, even given what he tried with Lily.
I couldn't reveal my reason for believing the connection. I also knew I had to be more careful not to slip up with his name in the future. I decided to change the topic of conversation. How's Lily doing?
She's good. We watched some chick flicks and went shopping. She didn't want me to buy her anything, but I couldn't resist. She's such a sweet girl. She's taking a shower now. I don't want to put pressure on you, but I think she's missing her mom.
I'm sure she is. I'll catch up with you tomorrow, Kathy. I know few women would have reacted to this situation the way you have.
Well, I'm just doing what needs to be done. I want to keep her safe, too.
I know you do. Good night, Kathy.
Good night, Ace.
How was I going to stop Reynolds? I had to find a way. I also decided I would follow the missing person case of Christy Lamb and help if I could.
Subscribe to hear Ace Johnson or purchase additional episodes. Will Ace find a way to keep Lily safe? Will he find Christy Lamb? Ace of Hearts by Gary W. Bryant is available at Amazon.com.